Nobody taught you this in school. And that's not an accident. Most people spend 40 years working for money and never once learn how money actually works. And by the time they figure it out, it's too late to make it matter. But here's the thing, personal finance isn't complicated. It's just never been explained clearly. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 5 pillars of financial basics that every adult needs to know: budgeting, saving, debt, investing, and building wealth. Stick with me to the end, because the last one is where everything changes. I'm Emma, and welcome to Emma Invests. Before we talk numbers, let's talk about something nobody talks about: your relationship with money. Most people treat money as a source of stress. It's something they avoid thinking about, avoid looking at, and avoid talking about. But avoidance is the single most expensive habit you can have. Here's the truth. Money is just a tool, like a hammer. It doesn't care who holds it, but in the hands of someone who knows how to use it, it builds something incredible. The first shift you need to make is from passive to active. Stop letting money happen to you. Start making money decisions on purpose. That means knowing what's coming in, what's going out, and where it's going. Which brings us to Pillar 1. Pillar 1, budgeting. The word most people hate. But here's why budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about intention. A budget is simply a plan for your money before the month begins. Without it, your money makes its own decisions, and trust me, it won't choose wisely. The easiest system I recommend for beginners is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your take-home income goes to needs, rent, groceries, utilities, transport. 30% goes to wants, dining out, subscriptions, entertainment. 20% goes to savings and debt repayment. Now, these percentages aren't law, they're a starting point. The goal is awareness. Once you know where your money is going, you can start making choices, and choices compound over time. Start this week. Write down everything you spent last month, every coffee, every subscription. Just look at it without judgment. That moment of awareness, that's where financial change begins. Pillar 2, saving. And I'm not talking about saving whatever's left over at the end of the month. Because let me guess, there's never anything left over. The rule is, pay yourself first. Before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, before you do anything, move a set amount into savings the moment your paycheck hits. Even if it's just $50, even if it's $20, the amount matters less than the habit. Your first savings goal should be an emergency fund 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, sitting in a high-yield savings account, untouched unless there's a real emergency. Why? Because without an emergency fund, any unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, a lost job, pushes you straight into debt. And debt is where wealth goes to die. Build the emergency fund first, everything else comes after. Pillar 3, debt. The one nobody wants to talk about. But here's what I need you to understand: not all debt is equal. There is bad debt, high-interest consumer debt, credit cards, payday loans, buy now, pay later schemes. This debt costs you 15 to 30% per year. It shrinks your wealth every single day you hold it. And there is strategic debt, a mortgage on a home that appreciates, a student loan that unlocks a higher income, a business loan that generates revenue. This debt, managed correctly, can build wealth. Your job is to ruthlessly eliminate bad debt as fast as possible. The 2 most popular methods are the Snowball method, paying off the smallest balance first for psychological wins, and the Avalanche method, paying off the highest interest rate first, which saves the most money mathematically. Both work. Pick the one you'll actually stick to. And while you're paying off debt, stop adding to it. Cut the card, delete the app, remove the temptation. Pillar 4, investing. This is where money starts making more money, and this is the part that actually builds wealth over time. Most people think investing is complicated. It's not. In fact, the simplest investing strategy in the world has beaten almost every professional fund manager for the past 50 years. Here it is. Invest consistently in low-cost index funds. An index fund is a collection of stocks that tracks the broader market, like the S&P 500, which holds the 500 largest companies in the U.S. Historically, it returns about 8 to 10% per year on average. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to time the market. You just need to invest regularly every month, rain or shine, and let compound interest do its work. Here's what compound interest actually looks like. If you invest $300 a month starting at age 25, by age 65, you'd have over $930,000, even if you only contributed $144,000 of your own money. The rest? That's compound interest. That's money making money. The earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes. Even starting with $50 a month beats waiting until you have enough to begin. Pillar 5, building wealth. And here's where I want to shift your entire frame. Wealth is not a salary. A high income does not make you wealthy. I've seen people earning 6 figures living paycheck to paycheck, and people earning $40,000 retiring early. The difference is not what you earn, it's what you keep and grow. I've seen people earning 6 figures living paycheck to paycheck. Wealth is built on 3 things working together: income, savings rate, and time. If you can increase your income through a raise, a side skill, a business, and direct that extra income into investments rather than lifestyle inflation, you accelerate your wealth timeline dramatically. Direct that extra income into investments rather than lifestyle inflation. The goal isn't to be rich. The goal is financial independence, having enough invested that your money generates income without you working for it. That's freedom. And it doesn't require a windfall, an inheritance, or getting lucky with crypto. It requires a plan, consistency, and enough patience to let time work in your favor. Before we wrap, there's one mistake I see beginners make constantly, and it will cost you years. Waiting until you're ready. Waiting until you earn more. Waiting until the debt is gone. Waiting until you understand everything perfectly before you start. Here's the hard truth. The cost of waiting 1 year to invest is not 1 year of growth. It's potentially tens of thousands of dollars in compound interest you'll never get back. You don't need to be perfect. You need to start. Even imperfect action today beats perfect action 5 years from now. So here's your action plan. This week, do 3 things. Look at what you spent last month. Set up automatic savings, even $20. And open a free brokerage account so you're ready to invest. Those 3 steps alone put you ahead of 80% of adults who've never done any of them. If this video helped you see money differently, hit subscribe, because every week on Emma Invests, I break down one more piece of the financial puzzle in plain English. No jargon, no fluff. And if you want to go deeper, watch my video on index fund investing next. I'll show you exactly how to buy your first fund, step by step. I'm Emma, and your financial future? It starts right now.